Level of stage fright when I was younger? None. I had guts. I wasn't scared of anything, had a huge personality. Back then, to memorize my lines, it took 5 minutes maybe, depending on how long the scene was. It was super easy. I consider myself to have a photographic memory. So even now, if I read the script enough times, I just kind of know them. I used to work on this Disney show called Stuck in the Middle. We were really pushing for time, and I remember that there was one day where we were about to break for holiday break, and we had only 2 more minutes of filming left, and we decided last minute that they wanted to give me a new paragraph and ditch the old one. So I remember producers chaotically shouting off camera, "Jenna, so the new line is," and I told them, wait, just let me see the paper. Let me read it once. I got it. So I read the paper once, handed it back to them, and then word for word, I delivered the line 3 times, 3 different takes, 3 different versions. We were done rapping for the day, we got our schedule done, and we were out the door. When I was younger, there weren't a lot of opportunities for Latin girls, especially because a lot of the roles you go out for somebody's daughter or the younger version of someone. So I kind of just had to take whatever I could get. Now, Hollywood has gradually become more and more open to diversity. So it's typically, or hopefully, open ethnicity when you go out for a job. Now I think I'm trying to choose stories that I feel are worth telling. Whether that means I'm gonna have a really fun time on set and this will be a nice, exciting venture for me and I kind of get to play around, or it's something more serious and more impactful that I think is a story that might resonate with somebody. I don't know, I like to make people feel things. So whether that's really happy or really sad, doesn't really matter to me as long as I get to do that. Right now I'm currently shooting a Netflix series called Wednesday. It's surrounding Wednesday Addams as a teenage girl and she gets sent off to a boarding school. And that's been really interesting for me because I can't really think of many Latina iconic characters like that. For somebody who's never been shown in that light, it's really exciting to finally step into those shoes. And I've never done anything like it before. I've never played such a character, so it's been really exciting for me, flexing my muscle in new ways and trying different things and playing a deadpan character. They don't typically put a lot of makeup on kids. Now, I guess it depends on the character. A good hour, 30 minutes for hair, 30 minutes for makeup. It's really exciting when you're playing a character and either the wardrobe makes you feel like you're a different person or the hair and makeup. And my favorite costumes, either The Fallout, which is a film I did recently because it was very colorful and just very different from how I dress. And I think the other option is actually the show that I'm working on right now, Wednesday. Colleen Atwood is behind the wardrobe. She's huge. She basically is wardrobe in film and just has an insane resume and is so gifted at what she does. And when you think an outfit can't get better, she adds a few buttons and it becomes that much more amazing. And it's been really exciting to watch her work, but then also wear her clothes. My acting inspiration when I was younger, Dakota Fanning, Denzel Washington, because I shouldn't have been watching this movie, but my older sister was watching the movie Man on Fire with Denzel Washington and Dakota Fanning. I snuck in on the watch and I saw Dakota Fanning and I ran to my mom when she came home from work that day and I told her, "Mom, I want to be the Puerto Rican Dakota Fanning." And ever since then, Denzel has been my main inspiration and I've had immense respect for Dakota. Now I would say I would still stick with Denzel and Dakota, but I also would throw in Viola Davis, Riz Ahmed, Paul Dano. Those are some of my favorites. Level of stage fright when I was younger? None. I had guts. I wasn't scared of anything, had a huge personality. It's kind of sad because as I've gotten older, that's kind of gone away. And I think that I get nervous very easily. But what I will say is I've always had immense stage fright in front of my family or friends. Performing in front of them, acting in front of them, I could cry just at the thought of it. I would much rather perform in front of strangers and people I've never seen in my life. I know that there's a scene in The Fallout that I was really, really nervous to shoot. And I remember that I had a few months with the script before we actually got to shoot. And I would randomly go to bed at night and I'd wake up in the middle of the night and scroll to the bottom of the script and run the sides over and over just because I wanted to make sure that I was comfortable enough with the dialogue that when I actually shot it, it was fine. And then when we actually filmed it, it didn't take very long to film. I felt very comfortable in the scene and I felt connected and that was a major relief. And I also had that feeling when I was shooting Scream, my character gets attacked by Ghostface and I'm on the phone and it's very reminiscent of Casey Becker. That was really nerve-wracking because I know how iconic that scene is and how big of a deal that scene is in the Scream community. So I really wanted to do it justice. But once we started filming, it was some of the most fun I've ever had. My favorite film to watch then might have been The Goonies. I was a huge fan of The Goonies. I'm trying to think of like good take your mind off of things movies, because I would say now if my number one comfort film was probably Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Then would have been Denzel Washington, because again, Puerto Rican Dakota Fanning. Hello, please. I wanted that so bad. Now, I might say Riz Ahmed or Oscar Isaac would be another great one. I feel like I never catch those two acting. They just feel like real people every time, and they're really incredible to watch. Maybe enjoy being a kid more, just because I think that I was so busy trying to prove to my parents that I could work in a professional environment, and I was so work focused, and I was so young. I mean, I was 10, 11. I don't think I needed to be wearing like that. And honestly, it would probably be same advice now, where I think I put a scary amount of pressure on myself, and I take things more seriously than they need to. And I think that I start to take myself too seriously, and that's no good. I'm young, and I should ease up a bit. Nothing should ever be that serious. I didn't really start getting recognized until my Disney show, which was when I was about 13, 14, and I used to get recognized by groups of children. It was always so awkward walking past birthday parties or things like that. As I got older, after I did a spot on a show called You, my audience went from children to middle-aged women. So I think now it's like a weird mix of people who grew up with my Disney show, but then people who also saw me as the bad-mouthed teen. When I was younger, I thought social media was the coolest thing. I remember begging my parents for it because all the cool kids had it, and it was also a lot more casual back then. You could post whatever. I guess you still could now, but I think that there's a different pressure that comes with social media, especially because it's become so ingrained in people's jobs, especially mine. So when I was younger, social media was so much fun. Now that I've gotten older, social media is the worst. There's so much pressure, like, oh, is this good enough to post? Do I look good enough? People have become so addicted. They're spending so much time on their phone. It's hard because I feel like we're connecting less and less as humans. It's always so sad to me when I see like a group of people at dinner and everyone's on their phone. I don't know. I think it makes people more insecure. A starstruck way? I mean, I guess I was a little intimidated, but I think I was intimidated anytime I went to LA. I know my mom would tell me, oh my God, that's so-and-so. You have to go get a photo with them. And I would tell her, no, they're enjoying their morning coffee. You just gotta relax. And I think now it's kind of a similar thing where I don't ever want to make people feel uncomfortable. And I don't want to put people on such a pedestal because people are all the same. And I think even just getting the opportunity, especially if I see them in a work environment, I also want to be professional. And I know that some people maybe don't favor that. And some people are so sweet and totally are okay with that. But I also I don't get too starstruck over people. And I like to keep it pretty relaxed. Was to prove to my parents that I could make it. And my biggest goal now is to prioritize happiness. How do you think I've changed over the years? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to 17's YouTube channel. Thank you very much.